Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, the Positivity God. I just recorded a whole 30-minute podcast episode that you're about to see. Audio's good and everything, as you could hear. Sad thing is, I had the lens on manual focus, so I'm out of focus the whole time. But nonetheless, I got a lot of visuals that I talk about and that you'll see, so look alive for that. It's going to be a great episode. Let's hop straight into it. Woo! No, I'm funny. I got to say it. I'm consistently always messing up a camera setting in this podcast, but nonetheless, we still out here recording it. So think about that because, today's episode is about consistency. So like, subscribe, hit, comment, follow, unfollow, share, report. Let's get into it. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Come on, let's go. Most people in life do big things. They're consistent with their habits. The problem comes because they tend to give up before they see the results they were looking for. In today's podcast episode, episode 176, we're going to be talking about the power of consistency, what that looks like. I'm going to give you a story, and most importantly, I'm going to give you some personal examples on how to better equip yourself with the right metrics and tools to keep persevering when the going gets rough. And before I say more, let's just hop straight into it. Let's go. Woo! All right, man. Welcome. We back outside, boys. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host of the Positivity Hour podcast, Darshaun Romel Smith. I decided to give you the whole government today because it's a great day to have a great freaking day. It's about 50, not 50. I got shorts on, you know what I'm saying? So it's about like 65, 70 right now with a nice breeze. This mosquito was just trying to take a big old chunk of blood out of me, but I had to smush it real quick. Sorry. F in chat for that little bug. And consistency. We out here. We live in life. One of the things I wanted to do in the welcome section is to define the word consistency before we hopped into this. And as I'm Googling this, I just wanted to say, man, I love my life, man. I hope you love your life as well. I hope you're doing all right. Drop a comment on something you're looking forward in the next week or two. And most importantly, are you ready to, make things happen in this world? So all that being said, the definition of consistency, as Google is saying here, is conformity, in the application of something, typically that which is necessary for the sake of logic, accuracy, or fairness. Okay. The second definition is the way in which a substance, typically a liquid, holds together, thickness or viscosity. We're not going to be talking about how something feels per se. We're going to be talking about the first definition, staying true to something, showing up when one doesn't even want to, or when does want to, and they're not allowed to, so on and so forth. So, yeah, with all that being said, let's hop straight into the time capsule.
Time capsule.
All right, I got 3 things for today's time capsule. I'm going to keep it nice, short, and sweet because I'll be losing retention here. So, number 1, okay, it's over there somewhere on my left, your right side of the screen. First American Pope, okay? I'm not a Catholic. I'm not super religious at all. I'm more of a universal spiritual kind of guy, if anything. But, W Pope, I guess, I guess a few people are, happy about this. 1.4 billion people are happy they got a new Pope. And obviously it's big world news and it's big United States news because for the first time in 2025 years, there's a American Pope. I mean, America's only existed for 250 of those years, but you get the point. So that's big news, and I thought that deserved to be in the time capsule. The second thing is buffs in the NFL, okay? Shout out to all of the Colorado football players that actually got signed. Examples being, obviously, Shador, Shiloh Sanders, Jimmy Horn Jr., Cameron Silman Craig, some of those people, yeah, maybe they only make a practice squad or whatever, but, you're a professional football player. You signed a 3-year, $3 million contract, so just know that, hey, it may not be like air quotes life-changing money, but nonetheless, it is more money than you've probably ever seen in your life and still enough money to, if done right, change a lot of people's lives, including your own. because and this is something I gotta find the clip of this. I forgot who said it, but they said like when it was like Gilly, I think, and Wallow on the $1 million worth of game. If I can find it, I'll put it right here, right now.
I know a lot of things change. Finances change. Did it start to get funny? Because a lot of people don't understand the experiences of an artist and how they journey the journey they be having, and how it go on the aspect of losing friends, going through it with family. How has it been for you?
For me, I had got signed like 3 months into me rapping, 4 months into me rapping. So I had signed before I even made Vulture Island. So I got signed and I'm taking care of everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm making sure I'm just being a real nigga. Motherfucker went broke. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, for sure.
So all your signing money, that shit was gone.
That shit went gone. And I ain't even had nothing to show for it for myself. I made Vulture Island staying with my mama, you know what I'm saying? So now the money come again, I'm like, well, yeah, I know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course people gonna be like, man, you da-da-da. But I got that voice to say like, man, y'all watch me go broke on the fuck shit, like paying for everything and shit. Like, so I ain't going that way no more. You know what I'm saying?
I see that.
Hold on, let me just say this to all the artists out there, right? When you sign a contract to a record label and you get some money, the advance money, that's not no we go party money.
Facts.
That's this money is to get me straight until my album come out and I'm able to make some real money.
Niggas don't understand that though, Where we come from, they see money and be like, look, oh yeah.
So that's why I'm here to let them know. When an artist signed, he signed. We signed collectively because we behind you. Yeah. But you gotta understand, when he signed, the niggas that surround him, y'all still in the struggle right now. Cause I haven't won. The win is not in signing a record deal and getting some advance money.
No.
Because 99.9% of artists that sign a record deal and get some advance money and they shit don't never take off, they end up broke. So you gotta understand that this is just the first level of execution in our winning. My man signed. All right, our lives not gonna change. Ain't nothing about to change yet because he ain't won. He just signed. That motherfucker signed an NBA contract. That don't mean shit. You could be let go ASAP and back in the fucking D-League. So the real win is when he signed to supporting him, you seeing his life get better because he can't better your life until he's truly got both of his feet in the fucking door. Y'all be wanting too much from a nigga too early. And then if a nigga got a certain amount of loyalty and a nigga don't know how to say no, now a nigga end up busted and disgusted. Now you just the famous broke nigga.
Facts though.
Then he just had a record out 3 years ago. Yep. Damn, he living with his mama.
He gonna stop fucking with you and everything.
Right. Damn. So let's be for real, man. Let's understand the processes of this shit. When a nigga gets signed, that's the first process. Now, y'all should be encouraging a nigga to go even harder. Damn, dog, you signed. You gotta really make that shit. No, now we critiquing everything. No, dog, you could have said that line better. No, you could have, because you trying to make your man go to a point to where as though now money don't even matter to you, nigga. Mm-hmm. Now I've been down since day one. You're worth $25 million, nigga. Can I get an upstart to help to something? Because now you can afford to give me something and it's not going to hurt you. But niggas don't ever want to wait to that point. They don't ever want to play their role. They don't ever want to help the team win the championship. Niggas be expecting too much too early. Niggas be thinking when you rap off of your talent and you come up, then I immediately come up. No, you got to put some work in, nigga. You got to have some legs to stand on. You got to be a motherfucking asset, not a liability.
But if I can't, I'll just paraphrase it. They said that like when a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, make it to the league, they, blow all their money, try to help everybody and their mama. When it's like, we didn't make it to the league. I made it to the league. I think they were talking to Rob 49, a rapper, when this was happening, because it's like, although, yes, we got some money, we as in me, myself, and I I'm not financially in a position to be able to provide a certain lifestyle for everyone yet. So I hope that all of those buffs, you know, and their newfound wealth or whatever, or their, you know, future success from the National Football League, you know, I hope they can, you know, cross their T's and dot their I's and keep their money long term and help the people that they care most about. But what do I know about that? I'm still trying to get wealthy, so I'll check back in on this episode in a couple years. Last thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, one of the things that informed this episode, you know, the power of consistency. And we're going to talk more about this when we get personal in like 5 or 10 minutes. But my YouTube channel, Darshaun Smith Productions, you know, it just hit 100,000 views as of recording this. It's at like 103,000 and some change. And yeah, it took me 880 attempts, okay? Obviously, views are cumulative, but I did the math, and that's like an average of 115 views per video. And I know that for like 400 or 500 of those videos, there was 10 views. So, oh, bug was on my glasses. We got to blow that boy off. And then I realized the mic is on my glasses too, so we can't go too far. I say all that to say that, yeah, I just wanted to document that and say that, hey, consistency does pay off. And recently I had a few videos get thousands of views and really good retention as well. So, hey, keep showing up, keep showing out, and let's get into the main topic.
Time for the main topic.
All right. I got a few points I want to cover here. I want to keep this one nice, short, and sweet because consistency is all about showing up. Consistency is all about doing what needs to be done. Consistency is about, you know, having a goal, yes, but like I said in the intro, showing up regardless, showing up no matter what the results are, showing up, you know, and making it to that next stage. So the first thing I want to talk about is the story of Sisyphus, okay? Pretty sure that's how I'm pronouncing that right. It's like a Greek mythology type concept. You know, I'll have a little animation over there or something about the concept, or, you know, the Google. You look at your right, or, you know, my left for context, okay? But the Sisyphus story, it's the guy who has to push the boulder up the hill, but then consistently, like when it gets almost to the top, it like gravity or whatever, you know, pulls it back down. This is, you know, really philosophical, and you could go into great detail about this. But for the sake of this video, I want to use this as somewhat of an analogy or some sort of anecdote, I think is the actual word, to illustrate the point of consistency, you know. And this gets into my next point. Like, we're all consistent with something, you know. Me consistently recording these podcasts like 2 hours before I have to post them. Today, I didn't even mention, you know, got water fountain in the back. We're in Riverside, Iowa. I'm at the Riverside Casino. Not gambling. I consistently be in my apartment, okay? I got to come outside more and record these videos. And yeah, people are driving by or whatever, but hey, I'm cool talking to a camera. We lit. This is a blessing. So I say all that to say that people consistently do stuff, okay? Like I said, me recording these podcasts, me, you know, not coming outside as much as I probably should have. You know, people consistently overeat. That's a great example. I used to do that consistently, but recently, because, you know, I've been consistently trying to change a habit, I've been doing better at that. But when it comes to the whole Sisyphus thing, let's take, you know, the weight loss journey, as I had just alluded to, that I'm on right now, in which I've seen some success in over the last month because I've consistently been showing up. Don't play the consistency drinking game, okay? You're going to be sloshed at the end of this if you are. But, yeah, new year, new me, okay? That's how it always starts. You see people, they see their boulder, they see where it needs to go up the hill, okay? Using the Sisyphus analogy here, or anecdote against the little story. We'll use 5th grade terms, okay? The story. They start pushing it up the hill. That's them showing up to the gym. They keep going up the hill. Yeah, maybe they hit a little rock, but they find the energy to muster and push it over. You know, that's them, you know, eating a protein shake or eating a protein bar when they normally would have ate a Snickers, or, you know, maybe they skipped a meal because they just wanted to have one day where they ate 2 meals to have a calorie deficit, you know, something like that, you know. The problem comes because, like I said, everyone's consistent to some degree, is that in most people's cases of that, the new year, new me, they consistently give up too soon, okay? They consistently get to the top and they're like, okay, let me hop on the scale now. or when I say to the top, I mean to the near top. They're like, let me hop on the scale now. And it's like, before I started this, I weighed 215. Now I weigh 225. This isn't working. I give up. It's like, nah, like, you don't even understand. Like, you lost weight. Like me, I weigh considerably less than I did a few months ago. And I can see it because I record videos of myself all the time. And I'm living myself. Like, this shirt is getting baggy again. It was tight 2 months ago. But this ain't about me. This is about this hypothetical person, okay? This hypothetical person gained 10 pounds and was like, I quit. And it's like, you don't even understand. You've lost considerable weight, okay? But you gained muscle in the process. And muscle is more dense than fat. And that's why you are heavier than you were before. But a lot of people, you know, they consistently don't think through a situation. They consistently don't, you know, actually take it a step, a layer, however you want to say, below the surface level, and they never, you know, look at it for what it is. Like, you were working towards your goal, it was working, but then you gave up too soon because you got some things confused. Now, this is just one example of a lot of people who do the new year, new me weight loss thing. I know I sure did it, but, you know, the second time I did it, I actually stayed in the gym and I lost some weight. And I looked like that, you know, so that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But I say all that to say that, yeah, why do most people quit? You know, like, I started to get to this, but like, what's a sentence or two that I can, you know, put this in to make it just, you know, make sense, okay? A lot of people quit just because they give up too soon. A lot of people quit because when they set their goals, and this is, I'll just give you the sauce now. This is what we're going to talk about next week. They didn't set realistic goals. They didn't set goals in which they could constantly be achieving it. Where it's like, instead of being like, I need to lose 100 pounds, they needed to set goals that's like, okay, over the next week and a half, my goal is to lose 5 pounds, okay? In the next 2 days, I want to lose 2 pounds of water weight. Like, setting little incremental goals that cumulatively over a portion of time add up to something great. I say all that to say that most people quit because they simply do not know how to, one, trust the process, and then two, they don't know how to stay the course. You know, when the waves get rough, they're like, hey, helicopter, come pick me out. We out, evac, you know what I'm saying? And then number three, like I said earlier, they don't know how to set achievable goals. So being that the title of this podcast, you know, episode 176, is the power of consistency. How does one go about, you know, creating consistency for positive things? You know, because I personally think that, you know, consistency is a superpower, you know. And like I said, we're all consistent with something, as you're going to hear in the wisdom from an OG section, okay? We all consistently do something, okay? You consistently wake up. You consistently go to sleep. Maybe you consistently wake up late, and maybe you consistently go to sleep too late. I don't know what it is, but I say all that to say that when you really think about it, you're consistent. You're already doing the thing. You just need to take that skill and apply it to something that's going to actually get you somewhere in life. So I got 3 things I want to talk about real quick. Okay, these are the three things you could do to make consistency a superpower in your life. Okay, number 1, remember your why. Okay, for those of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, a why is what it sounds like. Like, why am I doing the things am I doing? Why am I still showing up when I don't want to be here? Why did I just stay up to 1 a.m. and now it's like 7 a.m. and I'm out here recording a podcast for my own personal brand? Why, you know, is very important that if not, it kept in the forefront of your mind, you know, if you lose sight of why you are doing something, I think that is a big problem. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of people fall off the consistency train. That's a big reason why people stop going to the gym. That's a big reason why people stop eating well. That's a big reason that, you know, when the husband and wife finally become a little couple and they get all married, they stop doing what, you know, attracted them to each other because they forgot the why, okay? They forgot, you know, the purpose. They forgot the mission. They forgot the fill in the blank, okay? Use your imagination. I say all that to say that once you remember your why, you need to do step number 2, which is track your damn data, okay? If it's weight loss or it's a money goal, if it's like, you know, how many dates did we go on before and after? Like be scientific about this process, okay? There is no magic, okay, in a lot of things, okay? Sometimes, you know, movie magic is real, if you know what I mean. But there is no science or like, rather, there is science. There is no magic out here that can really help you get to this goal or achieve that or do this or whatever. It's just being analytical, being purposeful. You know, failing to plan is planning to fail. But let's say you have the plan and you have the why. If you're not constantly like on the scale or tracking what days you go to the gym or what days you, more importantly, don't go to the gym, that's in my case, because I go to the gym more than I don't. Like for me, I use this podcast as a way to track. You know what I'm saying? Because I make clips, you know, I tell the public about my own personal life, about what I'm doing, and I tell personal stories on it. I didn't go to the gym for the last 3 days, okay? Because my ankle was cutting up. So, and I understood that I needed to do a different kind of workout to build stability in the stabilizer muscles in my left ankle, in which I hurt almost a year ago, which I'm still recovering from. But I digress. We'll talk about that, okay? Once you remember your why and you got your goals in your sight, you know, you're doing this for your mom or your dad or your family or whatever, and you're tracking your data consistently. That's point number 2. You got to do point number 3. And this one's controversial, okay? I'm sorry. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, okay? But I had to tell myself this, and I've been saying this more and more this year. Like, do something the world actually needs. One is what I was saying, but I have a new way of saying it. Don't do something you love. Do something you can actually maintain, okay? And when I wrote this, because I was working on some client work super late into the night last night, like I was saying, I didn't even have time to like do my notes yesterday as I normally do. So as I wrote these notes 30 minutes ago as of recording this, you know, this one especially was informed by what recently is going on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your goal is to show up to the gym and if your goal is to, you know, work out and lose weight and stuff like that, okay, don't be like, I need to run 20 miles on the treadmill. That's not sustainable, okay, unless you're a marathon runner, okay? Like, start simple, okay? Do something you can actually maintain, okay? Show up to the gym. Start there. Be consistent with that. And once you have that new set foundation, then you could build on top of it and be like, okay, like for me personally in this last month or two, I'm gonna hit the stair climber for 30 minutes and do 100 floors every day. And I lost 20 pounds doing that simply by just sweating more, burning more calories, and most importantly, going above and beyond and just, you know, finding something that I could do with my busted ankle, okay? The stairs motion is something I can do. The running bouncy motion, nah, I gotta strengthen some muscles yet, okay? That like I said, that's what informed me of this, you know. So yeah, like I said, just to recap real quick, okay, like how to use consistency as a superpower in your life, okay? The 3 points. 1, remember your why. As my brother would say, have selfish whys, okay? It doesn't matter what it is. You just need to have it in your mind and be able to consistently show up and show out and participate and do it. Number 2, track your data, okay? Whether it's how much money you made, how much money you spent, where you went, when you went, whatever it is, find a way to track some data so that you can, you know, be scientific about the process, okay? When I do this, that happens. When I don't do this, this happens, so on and so forth. And number 3, don't do something you love, okay? Do something you can maintain, okay? For me, in my business, that's a great example of it, because I love this photography stuff. I love this video stuff. But let me tell you, last night, I was kind of questioning some things. But nonetheless, I was able to maintain and keep a level headed and be like, this is a stepping stone to where I want to get to in life, okay? I remembered my why, okay? I tracked my data and what times I was working in the business and not. And then most importantly, I did something I could maintain, even if I hated it. But it was something I could do, okay? Yeah, I had to stay up late. Yeah, I had to go through this. Yeah, I had to go through that, but it still happened. And that's how consistency is a superpower, because it doesn't matter how you feel, It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You're still going to achieve the freaking goal. You're going to get to the end goal. You're going to be like Sisyphus, but instead of being like him, that boulder going to go all the way to the top and over to the other side. With all that being said, let's get personal.
Let's get personal.
All right, I got a few things I want to chat about real quick. DSP this last week, staying consistent is hard. I guess it's a couple because it's just those two things. But yeah, DSP this last week, pretty good. I'm starting to record some podcasts, like I said, for John Larkin, New Wave Performance and such. I just finished episode 2 last night, and I'm working on some clips and everything. And let me tell you, bro, like it's a grind. Like when you genuinely start doing client work, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a grind because it tests you, especially in this creative world, if you're doing it for the right reasons. Now, what does that mean? A lot of people who do this creative stuff or get started in it obviously do it for a hobby. You know, I've been taking photos since I was a kid, okay? I've been doing this for quite some time, it must be said. And, you know, that transition from doing it for fun, doing it as a hobby, to doing it for money or doing it for another person or doing it for the express purpose of helping someone else reach their goals. Oh, let me tell you, brother, okay? Because I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, to some degree. I'm not gonna say it sucks, but it's a different mind frame that one needs to develop, and I think that's why a lot of people give up with the camera work or the graphic design work or whatever, because they lose sight of, you know, what point 3 was. Like I said, don't do something you love, do something you can maintain. Like that's what I was alluding to. Like, I'm glad that I love this camera stuff, so I can, you know, be incredibly sleep deprived, power through on a Celsius and still make it happen, and then wake up 5 hours later and keep doing it. Like I'm doing it in real time. Like this is hot off the press, okay? Like I am living the words I'm saying to you, and I'm actually doing it right now. And you see how passionate I'm talking, okay? Like, brother, enough said on this point. Like, do something you can maintain and not something you love. It's a plus if you also love it, but just start with something you can freaking maintain, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, my business this last week, great example of that. Business is about to get crazier. I got more people I'm about to start working with. You know, you'll see it. So I just wanted to let y'all know, like we working, okay? We working. Second point is staying consistent is hard. But nonetheless, I think it's harder to get started because it takes more energy. Once you get started, just like I said, find something you can maintain and then keep moving forward. There's 3 videos. Lord, those birds are fighting, dog. Hey, y'all remember the last time we was outside, the birds attacked me a little bit? They didn't attack me, but you get the point. Whatever. Wisdom from your OG. I'm not sure if I did the section header or not, but if I didn't, we'll do it now. And if I already did it, then it's gone. I need to make a new one. Don't get it twisted. I like the computer one, but I feel like it's a little OP, and it needs to be used for like really big events or really big things. But I say all that to say, I got 3 videos I want to talk. You know, I would say watch with you, but I already watched them, so I know they're good. I'm just gonna like do the thing I normally do and display them over here. So let me get a little closer to the camera and say, yeah, this first one is from HORMOZI. Display it now.
No one cheers for you not drinking for a day, not smoking on a long drive, or not overeating for one night. No single workout or meal is going to be impressive on its own. The reason so few people understand success and becoming successful and getting to where they want to go is because consistency never looks impressive in the moment, only at the end.
All right, now that it's displayed, we're going to talk about all of these after the fact. They're all YouTube shorts, so they're all like 30 seconds or less. The next one I want to talk about is from LEILAH HORMOZI. You know, this is Alex's wife, or, you know, the other way around, however you want to look at it. Go, LEILAH.
I'll tell you something that I tell people when they always come to me and they're trying to lose weight. They say like, Layla, I just can't be consistent. And I'm like, that's not true, because you do consistently overeat. That rings so true to me because there were a lot of things that I did consistently that got me those results. And I had to then consistently do other things to get the results that I get now. A lot of people say like, did you use positive visualization? I didn't have any of that. What I was able to channel or tap into was all these negative feelings that I had. I'm angry and I have all this angst inside of me. And instead of putting it into all of these things, I'm going to put it into things that are going to make my life better.
All right, now that that is done, the last one, I think this is Denzel Washington, but I'll be forgetting who black actors are sometimes. I'm sorry, Dr. Umar. I got to do more research, okay? But nonetheless, let's play that video now.
Dreams without goals are just dreams, and ultimately they fuel disappointment.
Exactly.
On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency, because without commitment, you'll never start, but without consistency, you'll never finish. Dreams without goals are just dreams.
All right, now that that video has been played, my reaction to that is that's bars, okay? Simply put, simply stated, bars. And I don't think a single person said anything wrong in there. I think every single one of those people, you know, who are equally successful in their field, Alex and Layla, they are, you know, nearing $1 billion in net worth combined with each other. And I think Denzel Washington, you know, very successful actor, very successful, you know, careers, you know, and they are speaking on their own experiences, doing their own things, saying exactly what I'm saying, because I'm speaking on my own experiences, doing my own things. And I think that's something very important that a lot of people just kind of forget. So I say all of that to say that great videos. So let's wrap it out, or wrap up the podcast. Make sure you take a drink of water. Out here, you know, in white people country, Iowa, in the middle of nowhere, Riverside, with my Stanley. I'm just trying to fit in with the brothers and sisters out here, okay? It's a Sunday, okay? Most people are in church, but I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of people going to the casino right now. I thought y'all weren't supposed to do that on God's day, but whatever. What do I know? Next week's topic: how to set goals you can actually achieve. I've done some videos on all of these topics I've talked about, but maybe that was like 100 episodes ago, which, funny enough, was like 5 years ago. No, maybe not 5, maybe like 3.5, but you get the point. But like I was saying, you know, consistency is a superpower. But before you stay consistent, you need to have something in mind that you want to work towards, okay? You can't consistently work towards something if there's no star at the top of the tree, okay? If there's no Lamborghini at the end of the driveway, you don't know what you need to do to run towards it. So for next week's topic, I want to talk about just that. I want to talk about how to set goals you can actually achieve, how I've done that, you know, in my recent past, and most importantly, how you can do that too. Because I'm not here just to yap at you. You know, the whole point of the Positivity Hour podcast with the Positivity God, your host Darshaun Smith, is to give you things that you could use in your life today and make your life better today. Okay, you can apply those 3 concepts I talked about. You know, remember your why, track your data, and do something you can actually maintain. AKA, oh Lord, the bug is in my eyeball. To do something you can actually maintain. You know, you need to set a good goal, you know, to do that. So thank you for, this is the outro now. Thank you for listening to me yap today. Thank you for coming along on this journey. It's a beautiful day to have a great day. We're in Riverside, Iowa, about 25 minutes south of Iowa City, where my apartment is currently. I moved back to Cedar Rapids in like 2.5 months, so that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool to be back up there with my mom and such. And yeah, just save some money and make it happen. So let's go. Thanks for watching. As I said, this is Darshaun Smith Productions. Or Lord, I always say it weird. I can't say my own name. This is a Darshaun Smith production. I'm your host, Darshaun Smith, aka the Positivity God. And yeah, I'm consistent, okay? Consistently recording these episodes. I think this is 18 weeks in a row. or 19 weeks in a row. I'm so consistent, I'm forgetting the number, okay? I don't even track it anymore. I just do it, okay? And now I'm tracking different things. I'm tracking views, the amount of clips, the amount of fill in the blank, you'll see. And yeah, let's make this next week a special one. So with all that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, unsubscribe, hate, comment, follow, unfollow, share, or report. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And we gone. Fade to black. Woo!
Hey, yo. Mic on? Whatever I say, whatever I do, I know it's fun to get done. Looking at my past, man, I sure did have some fun. Took a stroll down memory lane. Man, I really came a long way. 10 songs in, I'm rapping like this, I sure can't have my way. Every day I keep showing up, is another opportunity to get better. The reason I keep working hard is to bring my mom some cheddar. And for those of y'all trying to act like that, yeah, my dad is really black. My dad in my life, man, it took some time, but now everything is better. When I look back to my past, it reminds me where I'm headed. I done came a long way, I was clocking days, yeah. Time to hit the new cellar.